It seems the old Aryan Slavs are now rising up and fighting back, which is nice to hear. And this report comes from one of our members that describes protests are ongoing since before Christmas, and it has started about a controversial law about religious freedom. However, as Thomas Williams identified the phenomenon, it's not about the church, it is about denying the majority of ethnic Serbs making new quasi-country and ultimately the destruction of a nation, in this case the Serbian people. One cannot help but wonder why are Serbs such a thorn in the Western eye. It's not necessarily the Western eye, but I get your point. This is one city in Montenegro, and she showed pictures of it, and it was packed of people protesting. Serbs all over the world are protesting, she said. And she said, just for clarification purposes, the amount of people that are protesting would be equivalent to 1/3 of the UK being out on the streets and protesting. Imagine if 20 million people come out at once, and they are numbering around 250,000 out of a 700,000 population. And whilst all those protests were going on, there was not a single incident of violence or disorder. Kudos to them. The cryptocurrency market needs to improve how it secures digital assets for the $245 billion industry to keep growing, according to the company KPMG. We'll hear more on them shortly. At least 9.8 billion, listen closely, at least 9.8 billion in digital assets have been stolen by hackers since 2017 because of lax security or poorly written code. And the accounting firm wrote this in a report that was released on Monday. Adoption of cryptocurrencies such as shitcoin and Ether, fresh air tokens, among institutional investors has led to a competition for a place in portfolios, which makes safeguarding the fresh air tokens more important than ever, according to KPMG. What stupid people who buy these fresh air tokens is and don't understand. The system for running the cryptos is designed to steal them. Oops. 100% fact. The whole thing is ran by rogue elements from the CIA and the NSA, who were the two organizations that actually created the cryptos, taken over by Rothschilds-based companies like KPMG as the new harvesting center. Stop buying them. And anyone selling or advertising them at this point are frauds, no exceptions. Sorry, but you people are keeping these clowns afloat. Cryptos are all they have left to control. That's it. Talking of crypto, here comes Facebook. Is now reportedly rethinking its plans for its own digital currency after resistance from regulators. It is now considering a system with digital versions of established currencies, including the dollar and the euro, halfway measures. That won't work either. The Libra Association, which Facebook founded to create the currency, will continue its work, it said, and the plan will include Libra, the company said in response. And the social network's digital, you already know what that means now, wallet is now expected to launch this autumn. Yeah, right. Several months later than initially planned, according to the reports. Of early reports that it might drop Libra itself, the firm said Facebook remains fully committed to the project and announced in June last year that it would launch the Libra digital currency with a goal of making payments easier and cheaper. No. And its partners in the Libra Association include Lyft, Spotify, Shopify, but several other high-profile members such as Visa left after the idea was criticised by the authorities. Dante Disparte, the head of policy and communication at Libra, said the Libra Association has not altered its goal of building a regulatory compliant, nice wording, global payment network. What happens if you don't comply? Delete. I'm telling you, it's not funny. That's exactly what they're going to do. Or so they think. And the basic design principles that support that goal have not changed, nor has the potential for this network to foster, another nice word they're using there, future innovation. Now, in October, the world's biggest economies warned cryptocurrencies such as Libra pose a risk to the global financial system. France has said it threatens the monetary sovereignty of governments. Listen to that closely. It threatens the monetary sovereignty of governments. That's what decentralization means. It tells you on the Bitcoin. And others have warned it could be abused for money laundering, oh my, and other nefarious purposes. Of course, it's the same people that's doing it did it with the currencies is why. Now, what I can say is a load of banks at high levels are not supporting this, as they realise what we said in the Clowns in Panic show is now unveiling. They will all be replaced in what they call decentralising. Cryptos will ultimately put millions of people out of work and create a society wholly dependent on a few psychopaths who have shown they care nothing for us, but will care less for those they used previously, called the minions.